Okay. So, good morning, class. We will discuss numerical integration. So, how numerical solutions solve numerical integrations. Okay. So, remember that numerical integrations, there are numerous useful methods for obtaining the antiderivatives. So recall your integral calculus. Okay. So unfortunately, some functions have no simple antiderivative. Okay. Yes, there are some functions na difficult to find the integral part of that function, di ba? So in such cases, if the value of the definite integral is needed, it will have to be approximated. Okay. However, if yung question is hinahanap is definite integral, okay, recall your definite integral. Definite integral means may value, may lower and upper boundaries, okay? Or area under the curve. So, pwedeng gawin, gagamitan ng numerical solutions to approximate the values. Okay? So, one way to approximate the integral is to think of the integral as computing an area. Okay? So, think of it na, like said, definite integral is just like computing an area under the curve, di ba? So, we can add up the areas, for example, using rectangle assumptions. So, we can add all the areas na inassume natin. Okay, so however, it usually requires a large number of rectangles to get acceptable accuracy. Okay, so we need a more number of segments to get an acceptable accuracy. So we approximate the area under a curve over a small interval as the area of a trapezoid. Okay. Sige. So for example, we have this area function. Okay? We have this function. Yan, function natin to. Okay. So for example, the area under the curve are approximated by either a rectangle or by a trapezoid. So it's up to the one who are solving for the area under the curve. So pwedeng silang mag rectangle or use a trapezoidal area. So it is apparent that trapezoids give more substantial, better approximation on each subinterval. Okay. So kung mapapansin natin, if we use a rectangle area assumptions, okay, compared to trapezoidal, let's say this one, when the segments are increased by 5, from 2, nag-increase tayo ng 5, ayan, mapapansin nyo na mas medyo better yung trapezoidal area assumptions, di ba? Mas konti yung mga void spaces na hindi na consider na area. Okay. So as you can see, if we increase the number of segments, ito, mas medyo malapit tayo sa katotohanan or sa true area. Okay? Kasi kung consider lang natin na 2 segments, yan, meron tayong voids na hindi na consider, di ba? Which is magbibigay sa atin ng error. Okay? So the area under the curve can be increases or yung increase natin yung areas na approximation like rectangle or trapezoids. For say, we have increased the approximation to n equals to 10. Okay, dinamihan natin. Okay. Then comparing the rectangle to trapezoidal areas, okay, ayan, mapapansin nyo. Okay. Then considering n equals to 15, okay, sa trapezoidal is medyo halos same na talaga. Okay? So, in conclusion, if we increase the number of segments or number of interval or subinterval, mas malapit tayo sa katotohanan. Okay? Yields to more accurate areas, okay, under the curve. And also, the trapezoidal area assumptions is much better to rectangular area assumption. Okay? Sige. So recall, for the numerical integration, it is a primary tool used by engineers and scientists and mathematicians to obtain the approximate answers for definite integrals that cannot be easily solved analytically. So for example, we have this one. Diba? Recall, this is a definite integral. So this is the question, equation for the definite integral. The integral of f of x dx from a to b. Okay, recall, this is yung definition for definite integral. Okay. So what are the applications of numerical integration? So sinabi nga dito by definition, this is a primary tool used by engineers. So napakaraming gamit ng integral na talaga, definite integral in engineers. Okay. So number one is to find the volume of a wine cask or a curved surface. So yung curve yung surface. So paano mo malalaman yung volume nun? So you can use numerical integration. Okay, next one is finding the area under the curve. Okay, or a center of mass. Okay, gagamitan rin ng numerical integration yon. Number three, we have the displacement and velocity. Finding the displacement, finding the velocity. Number four is find the fluid flow. Okay, so for example, this one, finding the area under the curve. We have a surveying. Yan, kunyari surveying. We have points and hanapin natin yung area. You can use numerical integration to solve for the area. Okay, so pwede rin yun. And number one is, and lastly is to find the volume. Okay, remember the volume, we have the spherical method and the cylindrical method. Okay, yung technique for finding the volume of curved surface, di ba? So ayan, the volume is equals to the integral of area of x, okay? A of x times infinitesimal dx, okay? So yan yung volume in a liquid tanks. Okay. So another example is to find the average velocity in the pipe. Okay. So the average velocity times area is equals to the integral of the velocities, infinitesimal velocity times infinitesimal area. Okay. So nung nakaraan, last board exam, I think yung nag-board exam kami, 'di ba pinagbawal yung calculator, na scientific calculator na 991 ES and 570 AS. Okay? So one problem, 'di ba, finding the roots last time sinabi ko, paano sinosolve 'yon, ganyan. Naging problem yun sa board exam since nawalan nga daw scientific calculator. At isang problem pa is this one. Okay, how to find the integral. Yan, mga integral calculus. Kasi it will take time, and some na magte-take ng board exam is kinalimutan na talaga integral calculus. Hindi na sinauli yung mga integral of some functions, di ba? Okay. So another one solution is ginamitan ng numerical solutions. Okay? So ito yung problem, di ba? So, nag-aral ng mga numerical solutions. So, isa yung mga napag-aralan is yung matatakil natin dito. We have the trapezoidal, we have the Simpsons 1/3. Okay, narinig nyo na yung mga yan eh. During your, maybe sa surveying. Yan. So, yan. Ito yung mga mahalagang tips na maybe sa time nyo, wala na talagang scientific calculator. So, pwede nyong ibalikan tong topic natin na to and gamitan ng numerical solutions. Okay? So, in the numerical sense, point of view or the integration schemes, we have two formulas. Okay? So, we have the Newton-Cotes formulas and we have the Gaussian quadrature. Okay. So, for the Newton-Cotes, it is most common numerical integration scheme. Sampling points are equispaced in the domain of X. And for the Gaussian quadrature, we have the sampling points are not equispaced. Okay, then it will gives accuracy that are significantly higher than those of the Newton-Cotes method of the same order. Okay, so for now, we will only tackle the Newton-Cotes formula. So ano ba yung nakapaloob sa Newton-Cotes formulas? Okay, these two are the integration scheme to find the integral, the numerical integration. Okay, so for now, dito lang talaga tayo magpo-focus sa Newton-Cotes formula. So if you want advanced topic, so pwede nyo i-search tong Gaussian quadrature, mga formula sa Gaussian quadrature. Okay, so for the Newton-Cotes formulas, based on replacing a complicated function or tabulated data by some approximating functions that can easily integrated. Okay, so for example, we have the integral of f of x dx from a to b. Ngayon, i-replace natin yung f of x into some function na can be integrated easily. Okay? So yung f of x, papalitan siya ng p sub m of x. Okay? Whereas yung p sub m of x is mth degree of polynomial. So ito yung polynomial yung p sub m. Okay, so generally yung ganito yung ginagawa natin. We are just replacing the function f of x into more polynomial function that can easily integrate. 'Di ba mas madali naman talaga mag-integrate uh, ng degree ng polynomial function, 'di ba? Okay, let's say x raised to n. So, integral of x raised to n, 'di ba? X raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 lang, 'di ba? Okay, so ang ginagawa ng Newton codes formulas is papalitan lang yung function into this form. Okay, basically ganun lang yung ginagawa. Okay, so we have five common formulas for the Newton codes formulas. Okay, we have the trapezoidal rule. Okay, we have the Simpsons 1/3 rule. We have the Simpsons 3/8 rule. We have the Bull's rule and we have the rectangular or midpoint rule. Okay, so ito, skip ko na to. So you can check this out on your own. And hindi naman siya kasama sa exam. So meron din kasing ibang gumagamit ng rectangular or a midpoint rule. Okay, so for now, we only discuss the four formulas. Okay, we have the trapezoidal rule, we have the Simpsons 1/3 rule, Simpsons 3/8 rule, and the Bull's rule. Okay? Sige. So for the trapezoidal rule, first, dito tayo sa first one, the trapezoidal rule. Okay, so for the trapezoidal rule, geometrically, the integral is equivalent to approximating the area of a trapezoid under the straight line of f of a and f of b. Okay, so recall, for example, this one is the function. Okay, recalling the integral of f of x dx from a to b. Ito yung equation natin for finding the definite integral. Okay, so ang gagawin, maghahanap lang ng points. Okay, for example, 'di ba? This is one segment only, ha? Okay, this is one segment only. Okay, one segment only. Ayan. So, ang sabi dito sa trapezoidal rule, gagawa lang ng trapezoid by connecting the straight line, connecting the y values of f of a and f of b. Okay, so for example, one segment only. Okay, this is the function. We need to find the area under the curve from a to b. So getting the y values of a at point A, so this is f of a, okay, and this is f of b. Okay, then connect the lines. Ayan, connecting the lines, then finding the area of a trapezoid. Okay, recall how do we get the area of a trapezoid? Okay, 'di ba ang area of trapezoid lang is 1/2 times h times base 1 plus base 2. Okay. So ano yung base 1 and base 2 natin diyan? So kung itong consider nating height, the distance between B to A, so yung bases natin are this height f of A and this height f of B. Okay? So basically the formula is derived to 1/2 B minus A, yung h natin, this one. Okay, the distance of this is h. Okay. So let's say this is B1, yan, and this is B2. Okay. Recall how to get the area of a trapezoid, di ba? Yan. So B1 plus B2 times height over 2. So 1/2. The distance h is B minus A. The bases are f of A and f of B. Yung length nito. Okay. The length of this one is f of A and the length of this one is f of B. Okay. So simplifying our answer, pwede natin itong i-recall as 1/2. Let's say yung B minus A, gawin na lang nating H. Yan ulit. Then, F of, okay. So, F of A plus F of B. Okay. Ayan. So, in initial notation, H over 2, okay, ito yung 1/2 times H, multiplied by f sub I plus f sub I plus 1. Okay? Yung first heights na kinonsider mo and the second na kinonsider mo. Okay? Na heights. or na values of y. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo, napakalaki ng error, di ba? Okay, malaki yung error natin dito. Ayan. This is error. Okay, hindi natin nasama yung area na yan. Okay. So how do we fix yung problem dito sa error na to? Okay. So ang question is, yung single application ba is sufficient enough to determine the integral? Siyempre hindi, di ba? Maraming area na hindi mako-consider. So yung value na nakuha natin is medyo malayo sa katotohanan. Okay. So for example, we have this equation, 0.2 plus 25x, okay, 200x squared plus 675x cubed. So minus 900x raised to 4 plus 400x raised to 5. So by integral estimate, finding the the area under the curve from 0 to 0.8. Okay, ito lang yung integral estimate natin, no? Okay. One single application lang ng formula. Ayan. Then tingnan nyo yung error. Mas malaki pa yung error kumpara dun sa na-estimate mong area. Okay? So, paano ba itatackle yung ganyang problem? So, to improve the accuracy, we will divide the integration interval from A to B into equal segments. Take note of this, equal segments. Then, we will apply the method to each segment. Okay, we will apply method in each segment. Okay, so this one is for the trapezoidal rule. Okay, for example, we have this problem ulit. Yan, ito yung problem natin. Ngayon, dadagdagan natin yung accuracy. So, dadagdagan natin yung accuracy, improve natin yung number of H. Okay, yung interval into sub-intervals. Okay, let's say for example, nagdagdag tayo ng 5. Yan, tingnan nyo, mapapansin nyo, ilang ano na yan, ilang trapezoids yan. Okay, we have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we have 5 trapezoids. Okay, 5 equal segments. Okay. So yung length nito sa ilalim is given by h. Okay. So the formula for h is b minus a all over n. So h is equals to b minus a over n. Yung upper boundary, lower boundary, and the number of segments. Okay, the number of segments na consider natin. Okay, so for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. Okay, so the formula for h is b minus a over 5, di ba? 5 segments yan. Okay, so kung mapapansin natin, kung in-increase natin yung area, medyo kumonti na lang yung ating error, di ba? We have this one and this one na lang, and also some part of it. Okay, so ganoon na lang, yung kumonti na lang yung ating error. Pero paano ba natin i-solve yan? Okay, paano natin i-solve tong area na yung area under the curve na to? Paano natin gagawin? So pwede natin gawin is sum lang natin lahat ng area. So the area under the curve is equals to area total is area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3, okay, plus area 4 plus area 5, or let's say the summation of areas a sub I from I equals to 1 to n. Okay, kung ilan yung n natin. Okay, ganyan yung gagawin natin. Sasum lang lahat natin yung area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, paano ba natin solve yung area? Okay, take note, this is trapezoid, trapezoidal area. Okay, so ano lang, basic ano lang, geometry. Okay. So before we start, ano ba tong height na to? This is, let's say, f of x sub 0. So f of 0 na lang. This one is, ano ba yan? X sub 1, so f of 1. Okay, this is x sub 2, this is f of 2. This is f of 3. Okay, this is f of 4. And this point is f of 5. Ayan. So, pwede na tayong mag-start. Okay. So, finding the area 1. Okay. Paano natin solve yung area 1? Okay. So, area 1 basically is B. Ang formula natin, take note, is 1/2 base 1. 1/2 times h times B1 plus B2. Okay. Yung B1 natin is f sub 0. B2 natin is f sub 1. Then, the height is h. Okay. So ito yung formula, f of 0 plus f of 1 over 2 times h. Okay, next, area 2. Paano ba natin solve yung area 2? Area 2 is f of 1 times plus f of 2 times h over 2. Okay? Nakuha ba yun, guys? Hello, anyone? Okay. So far, so good?
Yes po.
Okay. So, yan. Area 2 is f of 1 plus f of 2 over 2 times h. Okay? So on and so forth. Okay, so let's say f of 3, area 3 is f of 2 times f of 3 times h over 2. Area 4 is f of 3 plus f of 4 times h over 2. And area 5, f of 4 times plus f of 5 times h over 2. Okay, so mapapansin nyo, okay, dapat sinulat ko pala, no? Okay, dito ko na lang isulat ulit. Okay, so f of 0, f of 1 times 2 times h, okay, plus f of 1 plus f of 2 over 2 times h, okay, plus f of 2 plus f of 3 times h over 2 plus f of 3, f of 4 times h over 2, and lastly, f of 4 plus f of 5 over 2 times h. Okay, wait. Okay, f of 4 plus f of 5 times h over 2. Ayan. Ito lahat yung area natin. So take note, pansinin natin mabuti, class, ha. Okay. Sorry. So take note, yung mga heights is na doble. Ayan, no? Pwede nating factor out yung h over 2, di ba? Lahat din may h over 2. Okay, isa pa napansin natin, kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga heights are na doble. Ayan, no? F1, F1 din dito. Okay? Next one, yung F2. Kung may F2 dito, F2 rin to dito. Ayan. Next one, F3. F3, F3 din dito. Okay? Next one, may F4, may F4 din dito. Okay? Then yung first and last lang is yung wala, di ba? So ibig sabihin, okay, ibig sabihin ganito. H over 2, okay? Pwede nating factor out yung h over 2, di ba? Lahat yan sila may h over 2. Then yung first and last, walang multiplier, or ang multiplier lang ay 1, and yung gitna, lahat ng nasa gitna is nadodoble, di ba? Nagkakaroon ng intersection heights, di ba? Merong mga intersection heights. So therefore, yung mga lahat ng nasa gitna ay may multiplier na 2. So 2 f of 1, 2 f of 2 up to 2 plus f sub n minus 1. So f sub n minus 1 is one term before the last term. Okay, one term before the last term. Okay, one term before the last term yung f sub n minus 1. Okay, so take note, ito yung first term and this is the last term. Okay, so anything in between the first term and the last term may multiplier lang na 2. Ayan, may multiplier na 2. Okay, ganun lang yung formula for the trapezoidal rule. So take in general, the formula for definite integral of f of x dx from b to a is from a to b is approximately h over 2 multiplied by f sub 0 plus 2 f sub 1 plus 2 sub f sub 2 up to 2 plus f sub n minus 1 plus f sub n. Okay. This one is the composite trapezoidal rule. Okay? So mas marami ng segments na kino-consider. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo, we can also simplify the formulas. Okay? Ito yung gagamitin natin sa MATLAB approximation mamaya. Okay? So MATLAB approximation. So paano ba 'to na-derive? Okay, so mapapansin natin yung nasa taas, factor out lang natin yung first and last term. So h over 2, okay, factor out yung first and last term, we have f of 0 plus f sub n. Then plus h over 2, then yung 2f sub 1 plus 2f sub 2, okay, plus that hanggang 2f sub n minus 1. Okay? So this one, so ito siya, ito yung first term. Yan. Okay? So paano ba 'to na-derive yung summation na 'to? Okay, yung yan, pasok mo yung h over yung 1/2 dito sa loob ng equation. So kapag pinasok natin yung 1/2 dito sa loob ng equation, lahat ng 2 is maka-cancel, 'di ba? So therefore, kapag pinasok natin, h is f1 plus f2 plus that hanggang f sub n minus 1. Okay, so paano ba gagawin sa initial notation tong ito? Okay, so in initial notation is just h multiplied by the summation of f sub xi from I is equals to 1 hanggang n minus 1. Ayan. Yan lang yung derivation dito. So ito, we can use this equation mamaya sa MATLAB solution. Okay? Okay. So next one is we have the Simpsons one-third rule. Okay, by Simpsons one-third rule, it is a numerical method that approximates the value of a definite integral by using a quadratic functions. Okay, so it is named after the English mathematician Thomas Simpson. Okay, so take note, the formula is h times f of a plus 4 times f of b plus f of c all over 3. So kung mapapansin natin, need niya lagi ng 2 segments. Okay? 2 segments, lagi niya kailangan ng 2 segments para magamit yung formula na to dahil meron siyang FA, FB, and FC. Ayan. So ito yung FA, this one is FB, and this one is FC. Okay, so mapapansin natin, take note, that only for even numbers of segments and odd number of points. The segments is 1 and 2 and odd number of points. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, hindi gagana tong equation na to if yung ang kinonsider mo lang is one segment lang, 'di ba? Kasi by default kailangan niya ng 3 points. Okay, 3 points. Okay? Sige. So, how can we improve the area under the curve? So by adding more accuracy dun sa problem, adding lang ng more segments, di ba? So, ang gagawin natin, we will divide the segments into equal segments. Okay, itong from A to C. Okay, dagdagan natin siya ng number of segments. Okay? Sige. So, for example, this one, okay, ito, dagdagan natin ng segments. Okay, copy ko na lang to dito. Okay, ayan, drawing natin siya dito. Okay, ayan. Ayan. Say this is A and this is point C. Okay. So, if we increase the number of segments, syempre, okay, increase natin yung number of segments. So, let's say ito. However, yung default dapat daw ay even number of segments. So, let's say, i-divide natin siya into, ilan bang kakasya dito? 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 segments na lang. Okay, 4 segments. Hindi pala. 6. Gagawin ko na lang 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, isipin nyo na lang, the same sila ng segments na H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ayan, let's say this is the same H. Okay? Whereas yung H natin, recall, H natin is the upper boundary minus the lower boundary divided by the number of segments. Okay? Ayan. So, etong point na to, this is FA. Etong point na to, let's say FB na lang. Hindi. Okay, hindi pwede. FA, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. Okay, ganun na lang gawin natin. Okay, this one is F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, and F7. Ayan. Ito yung mga points, di ba? Okay. So, using the formulas, kung mapapansin natin yung formulas, okay. So, gagamitin natin to. Okay, gamitin natin yung formula na to. Sabi niya dito, FA plus 4 times FB plus FC all over 3. So, yung first two segments natin, gagamitin natin ng ganong formula. Okay, ito yung first two segments, di ba? Okay, this one. So, paano ba gagamitan ng formula yan? Di ba? Kung gagamitin natin yung formula na to, the first two areas are H over 3. Okay? FA, doon na lang tayo sa malapit. Okay, yung first two area is H over 3. Okay? Then F1 plus 4 times F2 plus F3, di ba? Okay, take note, FA, which is now F1, yung gitna, 4 times F2, yung last is F3, okay, H over 3. Ngayon, gawin ulit natin dito sa area na to. Ito yung area na to. Hindi pa natin to nakakonsider, di ba? Okay. Yan. So, paano ba gagamitin yan, di ba? Gamitan ulit natin ng formula. Meron tayo ulit 3 heights. Okay, so therefore, H over 3 plus tayo dito. Okay. H over 3, F3 plus 4F4 plus F5. Okay. Next, itong area naman na to. Ayan. Yung area, green area naman na yan. Okay. So we have F5, F6, and F7 naman, di ba? So therefore, H over 3 ulit plus H over 3 ulit, F5 plus 4F6 plus F7. Okay? So ito yung ating Simpsons 1/3. So ito yung area, yung one segment, yung one interval, di ba? Yung one interval natin, kailangan niya ng 2 segments. So first interval, second interval, and third interval, di ba? So therefore, mapapansin nyo class, lahat ng nasa ito, madodoble oh. Ayan oh, madoble. Okay, nadoble na ulit na naman. Okay? Next one, ito, F5. Yung F5, madodoble na naman. Okay? So basically, yung F7 kapag nagdagdag pa tayo ng 2 segments, madodoble na naman siya. Okay? So therefore, the formula is H over 3 F sub 0 plus 4 times F sub 1 plus 2 times F sub 2 plus hanggang hanggang 4 times F sub n minus 1. Okay, so one term before the last term, okay, plus F sub n. Okay, so therefore, the integral is of f of x dx from a to b is equals to f sub 0 plus 4 times summation of f sub I, okay, which is from I 1, 2, 3, 5 hanggang n minus 1, okay, plus 2 times summation of Fi, okay, from j to 2, 4, 6 hanggang n minus 2 plus f sub n. Okay, basically, ang magiging mangyayari dyan, okay, we have 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, then yung last term is 1. Ganun lang yan. Okay? Ganun lang yung mangyayari dito sa ito. Kasi ito rin yung function, di ba? Iyan. Ganun lang yung mangyayari. Sige. So ito yung equation for the composite Simpsons 1/3 rule. Okay. So take note, this method requires 3 points. Okay, always take note of that. Meron siyang 3 points para magamit mo yung formula dahil yung formula ginagamitan ng FA, FB, and FC. Okay? And take note the even number of segments. So kapag meron ka namang odd number of points, sure na even number yung segments na kinuha mo. Okay. Sige. So by the Simpsons 3/8 rule naman, okay, so accurate than the standard method as it uses one more function value. Okay. So this one, gagamit naman siya ng 4 points per interval. Okay, yung formula gumagamit ng 4 points. Okay, ito yung formula 1, f sub 0. Yan. Ito yung isa, 3, 3, 1. Okay, so kailangan niya ng 4 points per interval. Okay, kailangan niya ng 4 points per interval. So therefore, ito yung equation. Okay? So next one is the Boole's rule. Okay, sa Boole's rule naman, it approximates an integral by using the value of f at 5 equally spaced points. Okay, kailangan naman dito sa formula nito, kailangan ng 5 equally spaced points. Okay, the formula is given by 2h 7 times FA plus 32FB plus 12FC plus 32FD plus 7FE, okay, which is this one, AFA, FB, FC, FD, and FE, okay, all over 45. So this method requires 5 points per interval to work. So therefore, the n interval corresponds to 4n plus 1. Okay. Okay, this one. Ayan. Sige. So let's start an example. So let's say we are going to evaluate the definite integral of using the 4 Newton cotes formulas. Okay. We have the function 1 plus e raised to negative x sine of 4x. Ayan. Yan yung equation natin. So now we will evaluate the integral using a single interval only. Ibig sabihin yung hindi tayo magagamit ng composite equation. So single interval lang tayo, okay? Yung ibig sabihin ng single interval, ibig sabihin class, yung default equation nila. Okay? So this one for the trapezoidal rule, ito lang, kailangan niya lang ng 2 points, 'di ba? Okay? For the Simpsons 1/3, kailangan niya ng 3 points. Okay? Which is yung h natin is yung segment natin is sinati lang sa dalawa. Yung number of segment natin is 2. Okay? Dito naman sa Simpsons 1/3 rule, Simpsons 3/8 rule, kailangan niya ng 4 points. Whereas yung segments natin is sinati sa tatlo. 1, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay? Next one is by the Boole's rule. Yung Boole's rule naman is kailangan niya ng 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay? Then, ang number of segments is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Okay. So therefore, since the problem is from 0 to 1, take note, 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Okay. So, tingnan natin yung mga h nila. Okay. So, for trapezoidal rule, since one segment lang naman yung trapezoidal rule to get 2 points, di ba? So, ang h natin dyan is equals to b minus a all over 1, which is 1 minus 0 over 1, which is 1. Okay? For the Simpsons rule naman, kailangan niya ng 2 segments. Diba? 2 segments yung kailangan niya. So therefore, kailangan niya ng 1, 2, 3 points. Diba? May 3 points. So therefore, yung h natin dyan is 1 minus 0 all over 2. Okay? The equation is h equals to b minus a over n. So this is 1/2. Okay, so Simpsons 1/3 naman, kailangan niya ng 4 points, which is 3 segments, di ba? Yung 4 points is needs 3 segments. So therefore, h is equals to 1 minus 0 over 3. Okay, this is 1/3. And for the Boole's rule naman, h is equals to 1 minus 0 over 4. Kailangan niya ng 5 points, therefore, kailangan niya ng 4 segments. Okay, so always, yung segments is 1 minus the number of points, or number of points minus 1. Okay? Sige. So for the trapezoidal rule, take note of the formula. So base times height lang, okay, over 2. So f sub 0, f sub 1 times 1/2, you get 0.86079. Okay? So next is by the Simpsons 1/3 rule, which is yung h natin is 1/2. So 1/2 over 3. Okay, h over 3, f sub 0 plus 4 times f sub 1 plus f sub yung gitna, yung gitnang height, which is 1/2 na yung points. And the last term is f sub 1. We have 1.32128. Okay. So by the Simpsons 3/8 rule naman, which is yung h natin is 1/3. Okay. So 1/3 yung increment, yung step. So 3 times h over 8 Yung f sub 0 plus yung lahat na nasa gitna, which is 1/3, next is 2/3, di ba? 3 times f of 1/3 plus 3 times f of 2/3 plus f of 1. Okay, which is 1.31440. Okay. So by Boole's rule naman, we have 2h over 45 multiplied by 7 of multiplied by f of a, which is f of 0, plus 32 times f of b, which is 1/4, plus 12 times f of c, which is 1/2, plus 32 times f of 3/4, okay, which is f of d, plus 7 times f of e, which is 1. Okay, will give 1.30859. Okay. So, evaluating the integral analytically, so the integral of 1 plus e raised to negative x sine of 4x is given by this equation. So, 21e minus 4 cosine 4 minus sine of 4 over 17e. The answer gives 1.308250646,246. Okay. So, kung mapapansin natin, mas malapit na equation na answer is by 5 points interval. Okay, so napakalayo ng trapezoidal rule, di ba? Kasi nga, 2 segments lang yung meron dito. One segment lang, sorry. One segment lang dito. This is 2 segments. This is 3 segments, and this is 4 segments. Okay, per single interval. Okay. Sige. Next equation is to find the vertical distance by a rocket from time 80 seconds to t equals 30 seconds. Okay, before we start, may question ba kayo dito sa example 1?
None po, sir.
Okay. So single interval lang naman 'to eh. Single interval lang. Okay? Now for example 2, the vertical distance covered by the rocket is given by this equation, which is 2,000 ln of 140,000 over 140,000 minus 2,100 x or t. Okay? Minus 9.8t dt. Okay. So the question is the vertical distance or yung x or yung area under the curve from 8 to 30. Okay. So determine the value of x, which is the area under the curve, using a single interval trapezoid lang only, single interval. Okay. And number 2 is find the true error, and letter C is find the relative error. Okay. Sige. So problem 2, since we are dealing lang sa single interval trapezoid lang, single interval trapezoid. Okay, so ibig sabihin, one segment lang 'yon, 'di ba? One segment lang ng trapezoid 'yon. So the one segment ng trapezoid is yung dulo-dulo lang. So 8 and 30. Okay, so therefore, b minus a over 2 f of a plus f of b. Okay. Whereas yung a natin is equals to 8, yung b natin is equals to 30. So solving this one, f of t, okay, sulat mo lang to lahat. Okay. Then 2,000 ln of 140,000 minus 2,100t minus 9.8t. So substitute t is equals to 8 and t is equals to 30. We have 177.27 meter per second and we have 901.67 meter per second. Okay, so solving this one by substitute natin dito sa equation na to, we have the area under the curve, which is the vertical distance covered by the rocket na 11868 or 11,868 meters. Okay. So the exact value of the above integral given by this equation, so pwede nating i-derive yung yung integral na ito, di ba? So the integral of ln, okay, recall your integration formulas, okay, integral of ln and integral of 9.8t. Okay, integral na ito and integral na ito. So the answer is 11,061 meters, or you can use your calculator, okay, to get this one, 11,061 meters. So therefore, the true error is given by the equation true value minus the approximate value. So the true value is 11,061 minus the approximate value of one segment trapezoidal only, we have 11,868. So the difference is negative 807 meters. Okay, so ito yung true error. Okay, then the relative error is given by the true error over the true value times 100. Okay, so the true error is 11,061 minus 11,868 all over the true value 11,061 times 100 to get to be in percentage. Okay, therefore the relative error is 7.2958%. Okay. So next one is to find the vertical distance covered by the rocket from time equals 8 seconds to time equals 30 seconds. Okay? Ngayon, same equation. However, gagamit tayo ng two-segment trapezoid. Ibig sabihin, meron na tayong two-segment na trapezoid. Or ibig sabihin, for example, ito yung function natin. Okay, ito yung A, ito yung B. Okay? Gagamit tayo ng two trapezoids. Ayan. Ayan. Okay. So next one is find the true error and next one is find the relative error. Okay. So problem 1, paano ba natin gagawin 'yon, 'di ba? We have the distance from 30 to 8, from 8 to 30. Okay? So 8 ito. This one is sorry. This one is okay, paano ba natin hanapin yung h na 'yan? Okay, 'di ba yung h natin, take note, is b minus a all over n lang. So h natin is 30 minus 8 over 2, which is this is 22 over 2, 11. Okay, so kung ito ay 8, ito ay 8 plus 11 is 19, plus 11 is 30. Okay? Ayan yung mga points. 8, 19, and 30. Okay? So therefore, the integral of the f of t dt can be expressed from f of t dt from 8 to 19 and from 19 to 30. So ito yung solving analytically, we have this one. Okay, so recall nyo yung formula ng trapezoidal rule. Pwede mo itong gamitin. Simplify mo isa-isa. Okay, gamitan mo ng trapezoid isa-isa, which is the area 1 plus area 2. This is area 1 and this is area 2. Okay. Then you can solve the equation, okay, which is 11,000. Solve mo yung f of 8, solve mo yung f of 19, and solve mo yung f of 30, di ba? Pwede yan. Okay, so the true error give negative 11,266. So therefore, the true error minus mo dun sa 11,061, we have the true error of 205 meters. So getting the relative error, same lang din sa formula. Okay, relative error is negative 205 over 11,061 times 1,000 lang. Times 100, sorry. Okay. So there are ways to more systematic solution using your calculator 991ES, okay, sa trapezoidal rule. Okay. So the first step is to find the, okay, I think wala pa to. Meron pa 140,000 din dito. Walang numerator na wala. Okay. So the first one is to find the desired step. Okay, so find the desired step. Let's say sinabi dun sa problem we have two segments. So therefore, n is equals to 2. So b minus a over 2. Okay, which is h yung step natin is 11. So the second one is go to the table function of your Casio 991ES and input these values. Okay, so magtatanong siya ng start, value of a, yung end natin is value of b, and yung step is value of h. Then third step is to table values of f of x and and x are shown and get the values of f of x. Okay, so open your calculator. Sige, open nyo yung calculator na. Start natin yung simulation ng problem. Okay. Ayan, nakikita niyo calcio ko?
Yes po.
Okay. So, ang gagawin niyo lang, punta ka sa mode, then punta ka doon sa table function. Ayun, number 7, table. Okay. So, nag-question siya ng f of x. So, before ka mag-start dito, syempre gawin mo muna 'to. Okay, gawin mo muna 'tong hanapin mo yung desired step mo. Okay? So, bago ka magsimula. So, nagawa na natin ng step natin is 11. Okay? Sige. So, sulat mo lang yung function mo, class. So, 2,000, okay, times of ln of 140,000 over 140,000 minus 2,100 x. Okay? X yung gagawin mo. So, therefore, alpha x, unknown. Okay? Then, close parenthesis, minus 9.8x. Okay? Ayan. So, mapapansin mo, okay, ayan, sulat na natin yung function. 2,000 ln of 140,000 over 140,000 minus 2,100 x minus 9.8x. Okay, since f of x yan. Okay, gawin mo, pinutin mo yung equal sign. Ayan. So, nagtatanong siya ng starting value. What is the starting value? So, yung starting value natin, yung a natin ay, ano ba yung a natin? A natin is 8. Yung B natin is 30, di ba? And yung interval natin, yung step natin is 11. Okay, so pasok mo lang siya dito. So therefore, yung start mo is 8, yung end natin is 30, and yung step natin is 11. Okay? So yan, nag-tabulate siya ng values or ng result. We have yung f of x and we have your x. So yung if x is equals to 8, the value of f of x is 177.266. When x is equals to 19, the value is 484.74. And when x equals to 30, the value is 901.674. Okay. So now, by trapezoidal rule, take note, ang sabi ko nga sa trapezoidal rule by composite, yung first and last term are multiplied by 1. Okay, the first and last term are multiplied by 1. And yung anything in between are multiplied by 2. Okay. So, ang gagawin mo, kunin mo lang yung mga values na yan. So, kunin mo to 177.26. Okay. 484.74 and 901.67. Ayan. Then, lahat ng nasa gitna ng first and last multiplied by 2. So, isa lang naman yung nasa gitna niya. So, times 2 mo lang to. Okay. Then, solve mo na yung integral, definite integral by 2 segments. Okay. By 2, number n equals to 2. Okay. So, 11,266.255, which is the same dito. 11,266. Okay. So take note, you may use this method to other Newton codes formulas given that the number of points always satisfy in each interval. Okay, so take note that take note nyo lang na pwede nyo rin gamitin to sa Simpsons 1/3. Okay, pwede nyo gamitin yan sa Simpsons 1/3. Tabulate nyo, okay, para hindi na kayo mag-solve ng f of x, okay, igaganan nyo pa. Tabulate nyo, pwede nyo gamitin ng Simpsons 3/8. Okay, pwede mong gamitin ng Simpsons 3/8. And you can also use this in Boole's rule. Okay. Okay, nasundan ba yung class?
Yes po.
Okay. So, if we increase the segment approach, okay, increase natin for n equals to 2, n equals to 3, n equals to 4, n equals to 5, n equals to 6, n equals to 7, and n equals to 8. Okay, so try natin tong n equals to 8. If we will arrive to the same answer. Okay, okay. Ito, try natin yung n equals to 8. Okay, balik tayo dito sa table. When n equals to 8, ano yung h na natin? So yung h natin, therefore, is b minus a over n. So yung h natin is 30 minus 8 over 8. We have 30 minus 8 over 8, 2.75. Okay, so 2.75. Ayan. Sige. So equals, start natin is 8, end natin is 30. Now yung step natin is 2.75. Okay. Ngayon, tabulate natin yung mga values. Okay, so 177.26. Ito yung first. Next plus 2 times. Okay, yung mga nasa gitna, 246.33. Pwede nyo bang idigta sa akin? Like, 2 decimal lang, 320.24. Ano yung next?
399.51.
Okay.
399 po, sir.
Okay.
And then 484.74. 576.64. 676.05.
Okay. Meron ba?
780 aba. 783.98. And then
last.
900 aba, last na po.
Okay. So, ika-close na natin yung parentheses, then last term.
901.67.
Ayan. So, thank you. Ayan. So, ganyan lang yung gagawin natin. Siyempre, lahat ng in between the first and last term ay may multiply na 2. So, finactor out ko na lang yung 2. Then, sulat nyo na lang to lahat. Okay, so, sulat natin, answer. Okay, sorry. Ayan. So, 177.26. Okay, plus 2 times the quantity, okay, 246.33 plus 320.24 plus 399.51 plus 484.74 plus 576.64 plus 676.05 plus 783.98. Okay, close parenthesis. Then yung last term natin, multiplier lang is 1. So 901.67. I hope tama. Okay. May error. Okay. 1. Okay. 246.33, 320.24, 399. Okay, tama. Okay, wait. Okay, hindi pa pala ako nag-multiply ng h over 2 sa labas. Tama. Okay, so multiplied by h over 2 sa labas. Okay, so multiplied by h over 2, which is 2.75 over 2. Okay, equal sign times h over 2, 2.75 over 2, which is 11,074. Ayan. So, yan, ganyan lang yung mag-approximate ng area under the curve using a trapezoidal, composite trapezoidal rule. Okay. So for your homework, this is homework, ano ba to? Homework 4. Okay, for your homework 4, obtain the values of multiple segment trapezoidal rule of the integral of 300x over 1 plus e raised to x from 0 to 10. Okay. Dx. Okay, so ang gagawin nyo from n equals to 1, single segment, n equals to 2, n equals to 4, and n equals to 8. Then solve for the true error and for the relative error. Okay. So this is due next week. Okay. So next week na lang to. Until next week. one problem hanggang next week. Okay, mamaya mas better if gawin niyo na to agad after this meeting. Okay? So early out tayo. Okay? So do you have any questions? Hello?
None po, sir.
Okay. Sige, kung matatapos nyo agad to, gagawa na lang ako ng submission bit agad kung gusto nyo, tapusin nyo siya agad. Okay, if you have no questions, I think tapos na tayo for numerical integration. So next meeting, you will have your last quiz sa midterm. Okay, so ganun ulit setup. Upload ko ulit yung Wednesday exam. Sa Wednesday yung exam nyo, yung quiz nyo. Okay, so for your reference, you can also check applied numerical methods with MATLAB by Chapra and itong link na to. Okay?